Inside Riverside High's crowded gym, laughter turned to shock when Clinton Hayes, the notorious school bully, locked his arm around Evelyn Carter's throat. Her mother's wealth and father's power meant nothing now. Students froze, some filming, no one daring to step in. Evelyn's face flushed red, her breath strangled. Just as her knees buckled, the double doors burst open. A tall man strode in, broad shoulders, steel-hard eyes. Nobody knew he was once a UFC champion. Nobody expected he was a single dad. Evelyn Carter stood at the edge of the basketball court, her designer backpack worth more than most students' entire wardrobes, yet she had never felt more invisible. The gymnasium buzzed with Friday afternoon energy, teenagers clustering in their usual groups, but Evelyn remained untouched by their warmth. Her mother, Amanda Carter, commanded boardrooms across the country as CEO of Carter Industries, a tech empire worth billions. Her father, though divorced from Amanda for 3 years, wielded his own influence as a federal judge. Yet all that power, all that money, couldn't buy Evelyn what she craved most. A single, genuine friend who saw her as more than the rich girl with famous parents. She watched her classmates laugh and joke, their easy camaraderie a foreign language she couldn't speak. Every attempt at friendship had been tainted by ulterior motives. Girls who befriended her wanted invitations to her mother's charity galas. Boys who showed interest were more fascinated by her last name than her first. At 16, Evelyn had learned to build walls higher than any her mother's money could construct. But behind those walls, loneliness echoed like footsteps in an empty mansion. Amanda Carter sat in her corner office on the 42nd floor, reviewing quarterly reports while her assistant fielded calls. Success had always come naturally to her Harvard Business School at 23, youngest CEO in her industry at 32, featured on magazine covers by 35. Now at 41, she commanded respect in every room she entered. Her tailored suits were armor, her sharp wit a weapon. But success had cost her dearly. The divorce from Richard had been clean, surgical, like everything else in her life. They'd divided assets, arranged custody, maintained civility for Evelyn's sake. What Amanda hadn't anticipated was how her relentless pursuit of excellence would create a chasm between her and her daughter. Clinton Hayes represented everything wrong with privilege unchecked. His father owned half the commercial real estate in the city. His mother chaired 3 hospital boards. And Clinton had learned early that money could silence most complaints. At 17, he stood 6 feet 2 inches tall, built like the linebacker he played on the varsity team. His cruel streak ran deeper than teenage rebellion. He collected humiliations like trophies, targeting those he deemed weak or different. Teachers looked the other way, intimidated by his family's donations to the school. Principal Morrison had personally assured Clinton's father that his son's high spirits would be channeled appropriately. Across town, in a modest 2-bedroom apartment, Dante Sullivan helped his 7-year-old son Leo with homework. The kitchen table wobbled slightly. Dante kept meaning to fix it, but Leo didn't mind. He was too busy explaining his math problems with the enthusiasm only second graders possessed. Dante listened patiently, his calloused hands gentle as he pointed out where Leo had carried the wrong number. 5 years had passed since Maria's death. 5 years of being both mother and father. 5 years of quiet dedication to the only thing that mattered anymore, his son. The walls held no trophies, no championship belts, no photographs from his fighting days. Dante had packed those away, along with the grief that still visited him in quiet moments. He worked construction now, honest work that paid the bills, and kept him home by 6 every evening. His co-workers knew him as the quiet guy who never missed his son's school events, who packed Leo's lunch with handwritten notes, who could lift twice what men half his age managed but never made a show of it. Leo Sullivan possessed his mother's warm brown eyes and his father's quiet strength, though at 7, that strength manifested as boundless enthusiasm for everything his dad did. He didn't fully understand why his father no longer fought in the octagon he sometimes saw on television at friends' houses, but he knew his dad was the strongest, bravest person in the world. When kids at school asked what his father did, Leo would say construction, but his eyes would light up as he added, "But he used to be a champion fighter." The other kids rarely believed him. Dante drove a 10-year-old pickup truck and wore flannel shirts with paint stains. Champions were supposed to look different. The basketball game had drawn most of Riverside High's student body. Evelyn hadn't wanted to attend, but skipping would have drawn more attention than blending into the crowd. She found a spot near the exit, close enough to appear present but positioned for easy escape. Clinton Hayes dominated the court. Not through skill but through intimidation. Opponents gave him space, knowing that challenging him meant consequences beyond the game. During halftime, Clinton's eyes found Evelyn. She was reading on her phone, trying to disappear into herself. He nudged his friends, the pack of them, moving with predatory coordination. "Look who graced us with her presence," Clinton announced, his voice carrying across the gym. "Princess Carter. Too good to actually watch the game?" Evelyn's stomach clenched, but she kept her eyes on her phone. Ignoring him sometimes worked. Today it didn't. Clinton knocked the phone from her hands, the expensive device clattering across the floor. When she bent to retrieve it, he kicked it further away. Laughter rippled through the gathering crowd. "What's wrong, Princess? Mommy can't buy you manners?" Clinton circled her like a shark sensing blood. "Or maybe Daddy the judge is too busy sending people to jail to teach you basic social skills?" Evelyn straightened, her cheeks burning. "Please just leave me alone." The words were gasoline on Clinton's cruelty. He stepped closer, his bulk blocking her exit. "Leave you alone? But we're just getting to know each other." His hand shot out, grabbing her wrist when she tried to sidestep him. "Where are you going?" "I'm talking to you." The crowd had grown, phones emerging like weapons of their own kind. Evelyn tried to pull free, but Clinton's grip tightened. Panic fluttered in her chest. She'd seen Clinton hurt people before, usually boys who could at least fight back. "Let go," she said, her voice smaller than she wanted. "Or what? You'll tell Mommy? Have Daddy throw me in jail?" Clinton's free hand grabbed her throat, not squeezing yet, just resting there with implied threat. "Maybe someone needs to teach you that your family